All right, in a bowl, you're going to go ahead and add your flour, which is 1 cup, your salt, and then you're going to add your butter. And what you're going to do with your butter is you're going to grate it into the mixture. All right, you get that butter. It's in the freezer, frozen. You got 3 tablespoons. Grate it in. As you grate it, just kind of mix it up. If it starts to melt in your hands, just kind of put flour on it to kind of insulate. You want to get this all shredded up till you got all of it. And make sure you distribute it evenly until you get all of it completely done. This is going to help it to be nice and flaky. Get all the excess on the other side. So you can use the pastry blender, which is this, and just cut it in. Or you may use your hands. Just kind of make sure that it falls into smaller pieces. Whatever works for you guys. The flour will help to remove from your hand for the most part. Break it down. And then you're going to add the water. All right, add the water. Make sure you don't use the ice. And here you just want to barely get it so it comes together. Okay, so that's it. You don't want it to be kind of like a crumble. Just like that. Okay, now you got to work fast here. Typically what we would want to do is put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour. But we can go ahead and achieve a nice, good, flaky dough as long as you work fast and you get it to, or at least it's cold. The one thing you don't want to do is let the butter or the shortening melt. Okay, so we just want to get that onto the cutting board. We got our pie pan. You guys will use a pie pan, and we're going to roll it out. Okay, so add a little flour. You might need a little additional flour just to get so it doesn't stick. And all we're going to do here is roll. If it starts to stick, just add a little more flour, especially the bottom. Again, don't go heavy on it. And we want enough so it fits in the pan. Should be about a 1/4 inch thick. All right, so we can fold it. Fold it in quarters this way. So let's see, fold it in quarters. Let me show you real quick. Like that and like that. Get your pie pan. Set it in. Just like so. And then just get it all filled in, okay? And you may use your cup. If you do, add a little flour just to work the edges. Okay, if you want to cut some of them, you can. So we'll stretch this out a little bit more. So we'll take off some pieces off here, add them here. And then just kind of get these going so that they kind of overlap. All right, after that, you are going to put some parchment paper down with some rice or beans. We're going to use rice. We're going to set it in. and just weight it down. So we need to go in the oven for about 10 minutes. This is called blind baking. We're going to blind bake this for 10 minutes in the oven. Then we're going to remove it and then finish cooking it off in the center. So this will go into the oven. Okay, once you get that first 10 minutes, we're going to remove the rice and we're going to transfer it into another bowl. And then we're going to finish cooking so again, we got all the edges. It's weighted it down so it didn't rise up. We're going to go right back into the oven for another 8 to 10 minutes. All right, after about 5 or 10 minutes, remove it, and then we're going to let it cool, and then we're going to go ahead and put everything together. For the filling, you're going to use 5 ounces of the vanilla pudding mix, and you're going to use 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of milk. Mix them together. Start it on low, and then once it starts to incorporate, then you're going to go to high. Once it starts to thicken, then refrigerate. Make sure that you kind of mix all the way everything from the bottom at some point. And continue. Once it begins to thicken, then you can refrigerate. Okay, in your stand-up mixer, you're going to get your heavy cream, your pudding, and your powdered sugar. Start it on low. And then once it starts to thicken up slightly, then you're going to increase the speed. Okay, then increase the speed as it thickens all the way up to high. Don't let it overmix. If you do, you're going to break, or it basically turns into butter. And right about there. That's where you want it. A little under is better than a little over. If you go over, you're going to actually cause it to create butter. All right, and now we're just going to put it together. So we got our pie shell, we got our filling. All you're going to do is set that in, and then just kind of get it all together in here. All right, then you have your pastry bag with the star tip, and just kind of do whatever you want. You can do kind of around here, whatever you guys want. And there you go, you got your pie.